So, welcome to our episode.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with me today. I think our audience are very excited to hear about your story today. So, if you like, could you introduce yourself for short, sentence?
Sure. So I'm Tom Weaver. I'm a pianist and a composer. I currently teach at the Curtis Institute and the Boston University Tanglewood Institute, and perform, compose, and a little bit of conducting, and try and do a little bit of everything if I can.
Yeah, you are multi-talented as you are. Yeah. So I have like a lot of questions for you, but we don't have to go through all of them. But if I love to hear, every single story anyway. Should I start with first question?
Sure, why not? Let's go with it.
Could you tell me about your earliest memory of music? What drew you to the pianist as a child?
Yeah. So I think there are a couple things that kind of ended up happening. And so my grandmother's an organist. I guess when I was little, and I don't really remember this, she showed me how to play a couple things on a keyboard, like even how to read music
Wow.
on a keyboard. And my aunt and uncle had given me like a little play one. And apparently I was just sitting there like reading Christmas carols all the time and saying that I wanted piano lessons. But I was told that I shouldn't take piano lessons until I was about 7 or 8. And so I waited. By the time I turned 7 or 8, I was like, okay, I want to take piano lessons still, and started doing it. And I think really the big thing that made me want to play the piano is actually Star Wars. Because I loved the music so much, I just wanted to play the music. And I didn't want to play one part. I wanted to play all the parts. So I was like, great, I can play piano, I can play Star Wars, and I haven't stopped since then.
Oh, I see. Wow. So you're like a big fan of Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah. And I think it deserves credit for making me love music as much as I do.
Oh, okay, got you. Wow, that's great. I didn't know your grandmother was organist. That's amazing.
Yeah, she worked at a church near us,
Oh,
and then I started playing organ in church from up to it at one point. Yeah.
okay. So you got an organ lesson from your grandmother, or just how did you?
And from another organist in the area
Okay.
as well. So just a little bit, and I wouldn't call myself an organist, but
Yeah, right.
it made me do a lot of accompanying when I was
Sure, right.
in high school.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. That's great. So I understand you had an early debut. Can you walk me through what that experience was like and how it shaped your understanding of performance?
Well, I think just I studied with my grandmother for about
Sure.
maybe 3/4 of a year. And then I ended up with a different piano teacher that was very much about getting performances and putting people in front of audiences as much as possible. So it's like by the time you're doing that, sorry, I just had a couple of show. By the time you're doing these early performances, it just gets you used to being in front of an audience. And I think because I performed when I was 8, because I performed when I was 9, it made it easier when you're walking on stage at 11, then easier when you're at 13, easier when you're 15. Then you probably start getting to thinking too much and it gets harder. But knowing that you've been through the ropes and you've done it and it's been a part of your life, it's been a natural part of your life, I think that's the important thing. To remember that when you actually start to think about, wow, this is actually really hard.
I see. Wow. So I mean, we I mean, what was the first piece we worked together was the piano piece, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
The piano piece came before the trio, right?
oh no, then trio was the first one, right?
Trio, okay.
Oh, I see. Well, now I remember more clearly. Yeah, right. The trio first and then piano piece later. So when I work with you and you perform in the stage, I see your natural, performance and very, like brighten you more. So I see now, oh, you have used to do this like stage, yeah, performance from the young age. So that's really impressive.
I have to say, I tell the story of playing that piece so much. I really loved the piece, and it was so much fun to play it. I just remember the way I was standing that night. I had to play so much inside the piano. So I was standing. When I stood up to take a bow, my leg was so stiff. I didn't know if I was going to be able to walk off stage or not. And I feel like I was like hobbling off stage. It was hysterical.
Wow. Thank you for your, best
But
effort.
I love the things that end up going through your head when you're playing. It's like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to stand up.
I see. So that was like first ever kind of physical, more challenging
It
piece.
was the most it was the most that I've been back and forth. I had done it
Okay.
before, but
Right.
it was a long time to be standing.
Right. But you are the
Yeah.
perfect pianist who can do it. Only you can
Oh,
do
and I appreciate it.
it. Yeah, that was like a very fondable memory with you and Menace. Wow.
But it was a great concert, I think, and we did it twice.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I, yeah, I also appreciate the program all this by Kate Slav as well. And two concerts are one was for the composer student composer concert, and the other one was for the Women's International Women's Day. So it was very meaningful concert for me during the Menace time. So, and especially
Yeah,
you were only the pianist who willing to work with me.
willing to play new
Yeah.
music is important. I love it.
Right.
We did the song came first.
Yes, yes. I mean, in between, so trio,
Oh, in between.
yeah,
Trio.
trio and the song, and the last one was the piano. Yeah, so great. You were the best of the best. I haven't seen any pianists like you yet, so I'm trying to search more. But
Thank you.
hopefully, we work together in the future. So
I go to Boston and I go to New York.
sure, sure. Yeah, let's plan things about it in the future. Yeah, that must be exciting. So, like in this context, when you're selecting pieces for a performance, what's going through your mind? How you choose what stories you want to tell?
That's a good question. I think programming's it's not that it's difficult. It's just that you have to take a lot of care in how you present it, and you want to run through so many different possibilities. And I
Mm-hmm.
think my problem is I want to play everything,
Mm.
uh, just because it's so much fun. And my other problem is that I like sight reading so much that I like just opening up new pieces and
Mm.
playing them, and then not thinking, oh wait, I can do this in a performance or
Mm.
something like that. It's more the personal enjoyment of getting to know
Mm-hmm.
those pieces. So I think what I usually do when I program is I find maybe one or two pieces that I know I have to play. And it's like, okay, I'm programming this. I really want to play it. It needs to be a part of the program. And then from that, I try and draw the story from that one piece. So
Wow.
find other pieces that might be either not influenced or just find a relationship between pieces that way. So it usually comes from
Mm-hmm.
one project that I'm really interested in.
I see.
And then it becomes a whole program
Mm-hmm.
that I'm really excited about because it ends up telling a story about maybe one
Sure.
focal point or just different perspectives on similar things.
Right. Yeah, I see every single of your concert series program. So exactly, what you just tell me. So I see the story, and finally I see the like just one point. So that's kind of important to think of when you program the concerts. That's really really inspiring. So sometimes you move between different musical words like jazz, classical, and experimental. How did you develop this musical flexibility? I'm very curious about it.
That's an interesting question.
Uh-huh.
I'd be so hesitant to call myself someone that can play jazz.
Well,
Like,
music probably influenced by jazz elements,
yeah,
kind of.
it's, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, I've ended up in spaces that I've been forced to do different things
Mm.
that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. Even growing up, when I was in high school, I was a rehearsal pianist for the musicals, that kind of thing. So that gave me more comfort in like a popular idiom. And we did West Side Story, which exposed me to Leonard Bernstein's music
Sure.
when I was young too. And that has a lot of jazz influence. So that sort of took a backseat while I went to college. But then even after that, the people I started hanging out with liked different kinds of music. ended up friends with a lot of saxophone players, and that's how I ended up working with David Amram a lot, who exists, I would say, primarily in the jazz world, but he's a equally accomplished classical composer too, and just brilliant all-around musician. And he encouraged me to think in other ways about that kind of third stream. Like, can you pull elements from other genres and make it a part of classical music? So I kept saying yes, I kept playing different things. I kept saying yes to composers because I write new music. I think people need to hear new music. So it doesn't matter how experimental it is if it's on the score, right? It's my job to do it.
Right.
Then that's made me who I am. And then somehow I ended up like later today I'm rehearsing. I don't even know if you call it rehearsing. I think it's practice with a like blues country that has recently started writing songs. I feel totally uncomfortable and I have no idea what I'm doing, legitimate. And I've got the guitar player that's yelling at me that I'm playing too much, and I'm trying to learn the style. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that flexible attitude towards music, really helpful for composers and musicians who more, open mind to do more. I mean, yeah. So when I work with you, that flexibility really helps me to, open more, experimenting and, finding more possibility from piano. So that moment and that memory with you was really, memorable. And that's why you are like best pianist, for me ever so far. Really.
We need to do the piece again.
Yeah,
I think it's a great piece.
yeah.
Yeah.
So really, I really want people know who you are, really. So how
I appreciate that.
really, I have really sincere heart for you to be more, get attention and more get recognized in audience and composers and performers. So yeah, we do work
I
more.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So
I and I'm not the most experimental composer in the world, and that's just not, it's not my voice. Um, as a composer, I want to bring it to life, and I love playing
yeah.
experimental music. That's the kind of interesting thing. Like, I feel I can't write it just because it's not me, but to play it and to try and bring someone else's ideas to life, I love that opportunity.
Yeah, and you were the composer and you do conducting, so that's why you have so much, flexibility as a different role, and then that gives you composers be more liberal. So that's the another point. I really love to work with you too. So maybe people who don't know you, I really want them to know you about this kind of flexibility and great, attitude and open-minded person. So yeah. So really, really, I'm lucky to meet you at Manus.
Oh, it was such a great time.
Yeah, with same classmate and as a classmate and with the same teacher, like all of things we share common things, and it's really yeah, blessing. So you study with some remarkable teachers like the Bonaventure and Rosenbaum. What's the one lesson from each one of them that fundamentally changed how you approach music?
Anthony Bonaventura, I think, totally changed the way I played, and like he changed everything for me. And I don't think I can overstate the impact that he had on my musical thinking. I remember my first lesson going in, and I was playing Beethoven Opus 1, number 1. He's like, okay, show me the right hand. And I remember thinking, like, I'm in college. Why do I have to show you just the right hand of this piece? And I play the chord, and he just looks at me and he says, that sounds terrible. And he's like,
Okay.
yeah. He says, you've got way too much E flat. I can hardly hear the G, and the C is softer than the E flat. He's like, at least I can hear it, but it's softer than that. And then he's like, realistically, between both hands, you're playing 7 notes. You need 7 different colors. You need 7 different dynamics across those notes to make it speak and to make it speak clearly. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I need to listen. I need to listen to everything, and I need to be patient, uh, because it's not It's not something that can just change instantly. It was just this constant like analysis of like, are you bringing the score to life faithfully? And is it actually sounding that way? And he was very much a proponent of saying like, do what's on the score, trust the composer because the composer knows. And I feel like that's become at least a part of how I initially interpret music is like, how can I get what's the closest way you can get to the composer? The closest way you can get to the composer, you can't talk to them, is to look at the score because it's what we have. Then Rosenbaum, not the polar opposite to Anthony Bonaventura, but certainly opened my mind in new ways. I think I took Professor Bonaventura very literally all the time, was very strict. And, I don't want to say it made me narrow-minded, but I think it made me think that there was one way of playing. And Victor Rosenbaum opened up my mind to more possibilities and opened up my mind to be more flexible, to try new things. And just like, sometimes it's okay if you meander a little bit in tempo, or sometimes it's okay if you take some time. And I think he really helped my music to breathe a little bit. Whereas the Bonaventura, it was precision and sound.
I see. So you start.
Both brilliant mentors.
So you start from piano first, and then composition study later.
I started composing. Oh, I started composing by the time I was 9.
Oh, okay. So like
Just for but like little things that
I see.
had basic harmonic progressions and cadence chords, and I would never show anyone that.
Ah. Okay, so that keeps in your mind, and then later you like, being like pianist and performers, like a multi, okay, multi,
Yeah. When I composed through high school too, and started taking composition lessons in high school
okay.
as well, which essentially ended up being more harmony and counterpoint lessons. Anything else?
I mean, that's the foundation anyway.
Yeah, I needed it.
Right, that's true. In the performance side, so you performed with orchestra across the continents and in intimate chamber settings. How do you adapt your musical communication across these different ensemble contexts?
That's interesting. It's hard. It's because every role you play as a pianist is totally different. Whether it's soloist in front of orchestra, chamber musician, soloist, orchestra player in the back of the orchestra playing a piano part. It's all related to the piano. And I think I've kind of felt for a long time that a pianist should be able to fill any of those roles. A pianist is stronger by being able to fill any of those roles. So I don't know that I fundamentally approach them differently. I just try to listen to everything that's going on around me and fit into it the way that it needs to be fit into. If you're alone, there's nothing else to listen to, which I find a little bit terrifying. But if you're playing with 2 other people, you've got 2 other people's ideas that are happening in real time that you can react to. If you're playing with an orchestra, you've got a conductor, you've got a whole ensemble to react to. And I think I view piano as a collaborative instrument primarily, even when I'm playing by myself. I think it's essentially you're bringing to life the collaboration between voices at the instrument. So there's always this constant give and take between voices at the instrument. And I think just being open to that collaboration and being willing to go whatever direction it wants to go kind of helps me to navigate the differences in those ensembles. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, of course. So what draws you to collaborative music making? There's just something about the way you approach ensemble work that seems particularly intentional.
What caused me to collaborate initially, you mean? Or
Yeah, what draws you to collaborate?
oh, draws me.
Yeah.
I don't. It's fun. I mean, it's a simple answer, but it's just fun because like imagine you're a solo pianist. You could be sitting alone in a room for 4 or 5 hours a day practicing the same repertoire to make sure you don't mess up. Like if you're a collaborative pianist, you get to hang out with someone. You get to go on stage with someone, and like the people that I play with, they're my closest friends too, and like it's fantastic. It's funny that like I really think it is the fun aspect, because the other night, 2 nights ago, a student had graduated from Curtis, Sarah Fleiss, that I had never worked with. She was in my keyboard class once, and that was 6 years ago.
Wow.
So,
All right.
and then just after she had graduated, another composer, Alistair Coleman, decided to say, you just should read some songs together. And we got together, we read some songs together, we did some Schumann, and it was just like, this is the most fun
Right.
thing that I can imagine doing in an evening. It's just like sitting there reading songs and having fun. And hopefully we're going to perform in 2026, the same set. And I think that's how it happens. You just,
Right. Yeah.
you hang out.
Right. You telling, people like very good point. Fun for collaboration.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Simple and very impactful. Wow. So like you, many musicians specialize in one area, but you embraced multiple roles, as I mentioned before. So, can you trace that evolution for me? When did you first feel the pull towards composing and conducting?
So when I was little, I wanted to play piano. And then I saw the pieces and I was like, I think I can write music too, which was a very bold statement for an 8-year-old to look at music and say, yeah, I can do this.
Oh, what a smart.
I'm naive, I think it is the word. But then as I grew up, I was like, oh, I really love the sound of an orchestra. And somehow I got involved in choirs, and I started doing some directing for choirs when I was in high school as well. And that gave me a little bit of conducting experience, or just working with an ensemble in that capacity. And then I went to college, and even applying to college, I was like, I want to be able to play piano and I want to be able to compose, and I want to be able to do both of them. I was actually discouraged when I showed up at BU to do the double major. And I was told at the beginning, they're like, it's going to take you 5 years to do it. And I'm like, that's not an option. I can't afford to do 5 years of this. It costs too much. And so I wrote out a map of like how I could do it in 4 years.
Okay.
I was like, this is what's going to happen, and it has to happen. So I rolled with that. Then I went to my master's, and people were like, yeah, you maybe want to think about specializing.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I think there are some places that let you do both. Manus was one of those places. Like I could major in piano, major in composition. No matter whenever I heard someone say to specialize, I said, I don't think that's what I want to do. Because I can't imagine life without playing. I can't imagine life without composing. And I think both of them have informed the other more than I really can possibly imagine. It's like, even in composition lessons, I'm learning about playing the piano. In piano lessons, I'm learning about composing.
That's right.
It's this constant dialogue that's going on, because it's all related.
Right. Could you share a little bit more about, as a double major at BU and Manus? Could you tell me more about those information?
Yeah. So it gave me sort of, I think, the best of everything. What I found is that performance-based degrees drive you obviously towards more performance related content, right? Composition degrees drive you more towards academic content, and being able to really understand the structure of music and being able to understand everything. So for instance, as a pianist, you could potentially go through school without taking a course on fugue. As a composer, you're not getting through school without taking a course on fugue. I mean, obviously that helps you at the piano. And like writing music, I think writing music in the style of other composers. Martin Amlin taught, does he still teach tonal composition? That's a fantastic course. I love that course so much. And it's like, but it teaches you how to write in everybody's style. And then it comes to life.
Right. That's true.
Like, as a pianist, why wouldn't you want to do that? As any musician, why wouldn't you want to do that? Is the question for me. But I also think that performance and creation should be linked to one another. Part of being a musician, that if we're performing, we should be able to create. And if we're creating, why not let it? Why not make sounds fun?
Right. So
It's all fun.
right. So did you prepare like two different auditions, or how does it work?
Yeah, so I had to send in scores. I don't think BU had an interview then, but I had to send in scores for the composition program. I had to go and audition for piano. And then at Manus, same thing, played a piano audition, full like I was doing a piano major, and then composition interview like I was going to be a composition major. I don't even know that it said, like, I don't even know that the faculty knew that I was applying to both.
I see, I see. So they might not share the information about you.
Right.
I see.
And I know, like, when I was at BU, when I first got to BU, I told my teachers and that kind of thing. Anthony Bonaventura passed away, and then I ended up with a different teacher by last year. I actually didn't tell him I was a double major, because by that point I was starting to get worried that people were thinking like, oh, he's a composition major, he doesn't need to play piano as well, or things like that. So I was like, maybe I don't want everybody to know I'm doing both, because people push that specialization.
I see.
Which I found out later was probably the wrong way of thinking about it, because he was like, oh, I found out you were a composer. I would have expected more out of you. I'm like, I like that. I like that line of thinking. Like, expect the most.
Then what about the conducting? So you just take the class, or how does that work?
I took classes. I always wanted to do it. And then I put myself in front of an orchestra at BU. There was some festival that happened. I had to recruit people for it. And I think it went pretty terribly that first engagement. But it was the beginning, and I absolutely love it. And I ended up, it was sort of, I guess, on hold when I was at Manus. I ended up doing a little bit more recently in Philadelphia with the voices. I've ended up not pursuing that as much. I'd fooled around the idea of starting a orchestra in the area, but then just things end up so busy that I haven't been able to dedicate as much time to it recently as I would like. But I've got this dream of being on the podium.
Sure.
I think is why I love score reading so much. I just love the repertoire.
Oh my gosh, you bring me score reading class. That was one of my favorite classes at Manus. Very, very enjoyable.
That's why I started teaching it.
Yeah.
It's as an elective at Curtis, because they didn't have an elective for non-keyboardists in score reading. And I was like, everybody should be doing score reading.
Okay. So you were the
I think-
first person to teach for score reading at Curtis?
For non-keyboard.
Non-keyboardist. Wow. Okay. Wow.
But I teach the score reading class for pianists as well.
Right.
Since Robert left Curtis a while ago.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, your sight reading is amazing. So I still vividly remember that. And I really enjoy all this, peers performing in class, and the fact that Cookson and the repertoire of the school.
I structure it the same way as Robert Cookson. I think it was a great class. I just wish I had. I only have a semester. I don't have a whole year. So I can do 3 weeks of Wagner where we sing, but I wish I could.
Right, but Wagner is so hard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy piece I ever done with piano. Aside from the questions, so the students you teach for score reading, they did good.
They do a great job. The class that I'm speaking about is an elective class for non-keyboardists. They really do they study piano when they're at Curtis, and they do a good job pulling it together. So sometimes slow, but they come in with varying levels of
Right.
mechanic, but they realize the score might be a small chunk. It's not like it's not like bring in the exposition for next week.
Right.
It's bring in 8 to 12 bars, and we'll talk about how to
Sure.
work on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting here that non majors. Did you say non majors who can take the
non-keyboard. So like
keyboard major? Yeah.
so like a trumpet player or violinist, or
Yeah. So that's
which I think it's very important for them, because they're going to play in an orchestra one day. You want to be able to read the score.
Yeah, that's why
Or they're going to coach chamber music.
Sure. So that's why you have the education background of score reading, then you have much more, ability to adapt all the situations, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I make a joke in the first class, like all the time. I was like, here's a class to teach you how to read music.
I mean, that's true.
And it's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wow. So anyone can take the class, right? Like elective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's open to everyone.
you never know. Maybe more Korean students in your class.
Oh, I had plenty of Korean students.
That's great. That's amazing. Because Curtis Institute, very famous in Korea as well. So anyone who wants to be a musician, that's one of the dream schools.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great school.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. This really, really one of the best music schools. Maybe some transition from pianist to composers and conductor. Was there a moment when you realized there weren't separate careers, but part of a unified artistic vision?
I don't I don't know. I don't think I ever thought of them as separate careers. Um, because I think over time I was encouraged, like, oh, you should do one, you should do the other, or you should go this direction. But I kind of like ignored everyone. I think that I don't know that it was because I thought I could do everything. I think I was just a little bit naive. And I mean, I think like my grandmother was an organist. That wasn't her main thing. Otherwise, my family didn't really know much about the music world at all when I started doing this thing. And they're like, "Yeah, go do music." They're incredibly supportive, but just didn't didn't know the world. And I don't know, maybe if I knew the world better, I would have thought I had to specialize more. But I think just because I didn't know the world, and you look up people, and like I said, I accompanied West Side Story. So who's one of the first people I come across? Leonard Bernstein. Well, he's doing everything. And it's like that seems like what you're supposed to do. So I just kept to it there. But I don't think I thought it's all one thing. I think I just kept reaffirming that belief.
Right, right. Yeah. Do you have any like advice people who, you know, have a similar career as you?
Do a little bit of everything and keep doing a little bit of everything. I was actually in a meeting the other day that came up because and someone brought up the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ah.
Uh,
Okay.
and it's sort of like, I think that's an apt description of it, because if you can be everything and you can practice everything, and that doesn't mean you're going to be an expert in everything, because I'm sure I'm not. It's just trying to get better in each discipline, um, to become a more complete musician, and to try and get closer to thinking about to realizing what makes music interesting, what makes it enjoyable. And it really is a little bit of everything. It's like you're playing, you're composing, you're studying, like, what's the current thought about music? What's the theory behind it? What's consonance? What's dissonance? Like the questions that keep you up in the middle of the night, because have we really answered them? I don't, I don't know. Or have we figured out a real theory behind music? I don't know that we totally have. We teach the basics of music. We teach what builds it up. We teach what builds up tonality. But it's like, still, what makes music music? It's exciting. And I think through playing, through composing, through conducting, through just trying to live music as fully as possible, I think that's the advice, to try and do a little bit of everything. Don't forget to do a little bit of other stuff too, like watch Star Wars from time to time. It's good stuff.
Very important. Wow, that's great advice. That's really great.
And play a sport at some point too.
Sure, that's yeah. So I see you run these days, right? So how did
Yeah.
you what made you to start running?
A friend was staying with me, a trombonist, Britt Lash, phenomenal trombonist, teaches at Indiana, and really brilliant all around musician, really into new music, um, and great performer. Runs marathons in her free time. And she was like, you should sign up for a half marathon. I'm like, okay. And then I kind of ignored it at first. And then I'm laying there awake and I'm thinking, I bet I could run a half marathon. It's only 13 miles, right? Now, keep in mind that this is someone that has never run before.
Okay.
Maybe like once or twice, but and like when I was forced to run a mile in middle school, but I'm laying there like, yeah, I could run 13 miles. Again, it's probably that naive thing that got me into music to begin with. And then I'm sitting there, well, if I can run 13 miles, what if I'm not tired? I can run 26. So I just signed up for the Philly Marathon 6 months out, having not really run at all.
Wow.
And then started training the next day. And I mean, obviously, I'm not a fast runner. In it to try and improve myself a little bit. It's like a almost daily grind. It's like playing. And I found at the end of that run, it was the closest feeling to performing. Like crossing the finish line was the closest feeling to performing that I've ever found. And thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
And just the things you learn, I think in particular running, like if you go 26 miles, it's like without giving up, because it's the second you start, you're like, I could just stop and walk away. It's the same when you're playing a 40-minute Schubert sonata, the same like struggle that's going on in your mind. Should I just stand up and walk away? And the answer is no, we can do hard things.
So what happens?
Just gotta keep going. Yeah, absolutely. Forward is a pace.
Right.
So
Wow. So of course it's physical exercise helps mental side, right? That's very important part, because me myself not really exercise much. So today Mu and I talked about the running stuff. What a coincidence. But then yeah, I should do more.
And I think that's honestly why I didn't stop after one. It was because I felt like my mind was clear because of the running. And I felt like I was more consistent at the piano because of it. And when I noticed that, I was like, I don't want to compromise. I don't want to compromise my playing.
Sure. Wow. That's very, very, the most important advice you ever given. Wow. I don't know how many musicians can have like daily exercise in their lives, including.
It's impossible.
Yeah, right. So
It really is impossible. And I certainly miss days or concerts come up or periods where I'm busy and it's like, it just stops. And then I start to feel a little bit sluggish and like less happy. And I know why it is, but sometimes it's too much. But you know that you're going to get back into it and you know that you can.
Right. That's true. Wow, amazing. Yeah. One day I try half marathon, maybe.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince myself to sign up for Ocean City in New Jersey in September. So if you sign up, I'll potentially be there.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Good.
I've got Philly full in November, but Ocean City, if you sign up, I promise I'll sign up.
I'll let you know. So, and you founding a group of ensemble, like, could you tell me about founding the collaborative piano fellowship? What gap were you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The collaborative piano fellowship. I'm so excited about it. It's in its second year at BUTI now, and it's going to start in 2 weeks. I've got 3 pianists coming. You might know 2 of them. Because they're at BU. Youngjin Kim.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Cheong Min.
Cheong. Last name is
Min.
Min. Maybe I heard, but Youngjin, sure I know. I close to her. Oh, okay. So 2 of them are Korean pianists.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they're both BU people.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Wow.
And Youngjin was a Manus person.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. What an amazing alumni.
A small world. But I'm so excited for it because it gives particularly people that have had more solo experience and just probably spent their life doing degrees in solo performance. It gives them that opportunity to go and do some collaborative playing, right? I think I think it's an important part of every pianist's life to collaborate. And and I think like every soloist is capable of collaborating, and they certainly have the fingers to be able to do it, like the technique and the ability. So I just love that it gives the experience to open up into that world a little bit more, so they can do more of that everything everywhere all the time. It's like you're not just a soloist; you're a pianist that can do anything, and you can fill any role. And it gives people experience playing within an orchestra. It gives them experience playing chamber music. It gives them experience and accompanying. It gives them experience coaching high school students in repertoire. So it gives a teaching aspect as well. And that's the goal of the program.
Wow.
So I'm so thankful that Nicole Wendell and Ashley Moore have confidence in this program, and BUTI has a confidence in this program and supports this program to exist.
Wow.
Because I don't think I'd be the musician I was if I didn't start accompanying at BUTI when I did. And I stayed there in that capacity, just accompanying for 11 years. I want more people to feel like they can play with people. And then at the same time, I want like pianists to be able to get staff piano jobs places, not even if they just have solo performance degrees. Now all of a sudden they did a collaborative piano fellowship. Right.
So do you searching for more pianists in your the fellowship?
I can take 3 every year.
Oh, okay.
And I try and vary it so every year would be different people.
Sure.
Just to give more experience.
So what's if, be in the fellowship, so what they're gonna get the benefit from the fellowship?
So they get the experience accompanying really excellent high school students. So they get to know the repertoire much better. They get to know a variety of repertoire. They get to know really a variety of how to accompany. Like I make sure people accompany a little bit of double bass. Make sure people accompany like oboe. They're very different to play with one another. And it's all about listening, I think, and being able to hear it clearly. Like a double bass speaks very differently than an oboe speaks. So it really develops the ear in that way. And beyond that, if they don't have orchestra playing experience, they get a little bit of that. They get experience playing in the wind ensemble. And then there are classes as well. So they get lessons and get coached in mills. And I try and gear like topics of classes towards different things. So like I make them do a lot of score reading.
Oh, nice.
When they're there, actually, because you can make a lot of money score reading, believe it or not. Like,
Really?
like conducting classes need score readers, right? Because it's expensive to bring in an orchestra, but if you can bring in a quartet and a pianist, a little bit cheaper, but the pianist is making a lot of money, which is very cool. It's like all of these skills that seem like they're kind of thrown together at some point, they really have potential. And same thing, I make them do figured bass, because what if you're handed a continuo part and asked to play it? You should be able to play it. And I mean, it all goes down to, I've said music is fun. You also need to make yourself marketable. And if you can read figure bass, if you can read a continuo part, you're more valuable. Because all of a sudden, if that doesn't exist in a reduction, you can still play it. Same thing we do today, like reading jazz charts.
Right.
What if someone hands you a jazz chart? Can you play it? It's all part of the job of being a pianist, I think. So
Yeah. Very nice fellowship program, because,
yeah, they don't know they're playing jazz yet. I did Chuck.
Right. So somebody who wants to apply the program, they contact you? How does it work?
It goes through BUTI. So BUTI posts the employment information. It's a fellowship program. It is paid as well. And it gives you 6 weeks out in the Berkshires. We're all set for this summer with the program, but the application usually goes up in January.
Sure. Okay. That is great information for the pianist. Great. What gap were you trying to fill in musical education besides this BUTI stuff?
You mean in general in my teaching?
Yeah.
Or
General. Yeah.
I think the mechanics of music are really important to developing an interpretation and knowing what's going on musically. So I think I fundamentally believe that one of the most important things we can do is study species counterpoint. just try and get a sense of how lines of music are put together, because it gives you a sense of what consonance is. It gives you a sense of more what dissonance is. It gives you a sense of how the ear, I think, naturally hears those two structures and hears them interacting with one another. And ultimately, I think the goal of really intense species counterpoint study is to open up the ear as much as possible so it can hear function, so it can hear direction, so it can hear everything. Now, so many composers write in a style that is very different than that, but the same principles that happen, the same ideas of consonance and dissonance, tension and release and direction, I think are present in every kind of music that we hear. And to kind of study that microcosm of how lines interact with one another, I think it can be applied to everything that we do. And I worry sometimes that there is that gap in musical training, that it's easy. And I don't even know that it's easy for it to be a gap. I think it's just easy for it to not be taken seriously or to be viewed as like archaic or unimportant. But I do think the fundamentals and just developing the ear, developing the idea of creating a line, what makes a good line, and just talking about those mechanics, I think it informs everything. So that's the gap that I hope to fill, or I hope to inspire people to want to pursue that knowledge a little bit more. It's sort of like it's like exercising for the ear, I guess. Bill Needleman was great at that. Did you ever take a class with Bill Needleman?
Needleman.
He taught solfege at Manus.
Oh, because I don't have to.
Yeah.
It wasn't mandatory, and my credit was already full. So yeah. And you know what? You remind me the audition days. So I took the all the oral skills test. I was one of the last person left. So Manus has a record of me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
So you were fine.
yeah.
Bill Needleman tortured me a little bit, and I love him for it. And I haven't spoken to him since then, but
I heard. Yeah.
brilliant man.
Right. He's still teaching there?
No, he retired. He retired, I think, when they moved downtown.
Ah, okay. Got you. He's very like challenging person, but I know he's really good teaching it, the stuff. Yeah. I know that. Wow. As a composer, when you're composing, how much does your background in analysis counterpoint concisely inform your creative process?
I think it all informs it. I don't sit there and think like, oh, I need to have good counterpoint, or I need to have something that makes sense here. I think it's more a subconscious kind of thing, just thinking like, oh, how are these lines working together? How's all this functioning? Is all there, and it sort of guides the pencil in a way that you might expect it to go. I'm not sitting there thinking like, don't write parallel fifths. In fact, I write parallel fifths all the time. They sound good. It's like, but they sound good, but they create a certain effect. Music that I find personally attractive in my own music, but it doesn't follow stylistic trends from an earlier time.
Great, great. So you've premiered works by composers like David Amram and Rina Esmail. What's it like to bring a piece to life for the first time?
It's the best.
Yeah.
Because I'll say more.
Okay, sure.
It's when you're bringing a piece of music to life the first time, you're like the first person that gets to hear it, right? And usually the composer, I mean, they're even hearing it probably after you.
Right.
And you get this opportunity to just explore these sounds and explore a work that no one's heard before. It's exciting. And then usually you get the opportunity to collaborate with that composer and bring it to life the way they want it. And that's always my goal when I'm working with the composer, is like, what are you envisioning here? I think one of the most important things, and this actually goes back to Bonaventura, and an important thing about being a pianist is that you don't really want, and I don't think I really want someone to come up and say, wow, you sounded great tonight. I mean, it feels great for someone to come up and say that, don't get me wrong. It's like, who doesn't want that? But it's better like, oh, I love that Schumann. I love that piece that David Loeb wrote. It's so cool. because then all of a sudden you're kind of out of the equation a little bit, and it means you were speaking, the piece was speaking to the audience.
Right.
Music's a little bit weird in that way, right? Because you have the creator and you have the person that's getting the experience, the audience member, but it always goes through that vehicle in the middle that's the performer. And I feel like the goal is to be kind of just something that can pass that on directly.
Right. Wow.
Which means if you're premiering the piece, hopefully you're able to talk to the composer.
Oh yeah.
Closer to what they want.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, being a multi-role is really kind of blessing to me because it's like you. I mean, I also used to play piano and did the advanced level, but I kind of don't enjoy playing on the stage sometimes. So probably I just not really focus on performance, but more focusing on composing by myself. So, seeing like you do like performer, composer, aspect is, learn so much and, inspiring so much. So yeah, that's because nowadays a lot of composers also do like at least two roles, like a performer, composer. So
right,
yeah, so the audience maybe has like a multi-role, musicians. So probably this conversation very helpful for them to hear your story, manage all these different roles like educator, performer, collaborator, like composer, right? All these things is really, really amazing.
it's like I said, it's a lot of fun.
Right.
And I think the most exciting thing is that it feels like you're constantly learning. And that's sort of, I think that's my approach to playing a lot of different music. So I just kept saying yes.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, if it fits with my schedule and it's with people I like, then why not play? Why not write? Why not try and do something?
Right. That's so true. People should really listen to this point and, do something their own, like you. I really hope, all this conversation is really, powerful to any, who really, do something in music community.
Yeah. You can do everything. That's the biggest advice. Like don't listen to the people that say you can't, because we can.
Right. That's
It makes it better. It makes it better.
right. That's so true. So I have more questions, like role of educator at
Okay.
Curtis and BUTI. So you teach both, wonderful institution. How do these different educational environments shape your approach to teaching?
I showed up and I started teaching, and I'm sure I didn't know what I was doing when I started teaching, but it's like this constant. What I love about Curtis in particular is that there's this constant sense of inspiration. I get it from the students. They come into class and it's like, you're talking about music and you're trying to figure out what makes music music. And you're talking about counterpoint. You're talking about harmony. Why do we love this so much? And they're fantastic musicians, and just the conversations are enjoyable. And I think being present in a place where people are dedicated to music and people really want to get closer to it, I think it informs me as an artist as well, because then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need to practice. Oh, I didn't think about this piece that way. Maybe I should. Because everybody brings their own background into one of these classes. I only bring my own background, which might have more experience than someone that hasn't spent time analyzing, hasn't spent time studying as long. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't new perspectives to be found. So I love the opportunity to have conversations, to explore music, and to try and pull together an educational environment where everybody's learning, myself included, because I don't think anyone knows all the answers. And if they think they do, then I don't know. I don't want to study with them.
So I noticed that you have influence of mentors like Schuller and Adler were significant influences. So how did their approaches to you, music and composition philosophy shape your own artistic voice?
Sure. So I hardly worked with Schuller. I only had a lesson or two with him. But Adler I worked with a little bit longer, and I think both of them were very encouraging to me, which meant a great deal at the time because it meant I wasn't doing something silly. But I think Adler in particular encouraged me to hone my craft from a more disciplined aspect. I remember his first assignment was writing 10 melodies using only 3 intervals each, which was like kind of rigid. It it helped me to craft my ideas a little bit more. And he spoke to me a lot about pacing in music, which I think was very helpful for me. So I think just being around those two was very helpful. And I actually, with the trombones that got me into marathons, we recorded one of Sam Adler's pieces on an album that just came out a couple weeks ago. And so it's been nice to have him as a part of my musical life, a little bit more distanced, but no, he's still an important influence to me, I think.
Right. Wow. So he's still teaching at.
He's not teaching anymore. He lives outside of Bowling Green, Ohio,
Right.
because his wife teaches conducting in Bowling Green.
Okay.
He's retired, still writing.
Oh, okay. He's actually one of my teachers from Korea
Mm.
who study with him. So
He's studying with him.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So and he's of course one of the like major figure.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
such a great orchestration book, too.
Yeah, that's so true. Still,
Al Blotter, who's also a fantastic guy, a guy that I got to know rather well.
Yeah.
But and also is a mentor for being able to do other things, because this is a totally random tidbit. By Al Blotter, that wrote the orchestration book, writes like musicals industry talk,
Really?
which is very, very interesting and very good music.
Oh, wow. Do you have any plan for writing or, composing in the future?
Musicals or
Or
or writing. What am I writing next?
yeah, or like a essay or music writing or whichever.
Oh, right, writing it. Oh, yes, I do. That's the most confident I've ever been in replying.
Oh, okay.
I would like to write a book, and I don't know the direction that I'm going to go entirely yet. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I counterpoint's one of my loves, and one of the things that I think counterpoint's all about putting two things together, two or more things together, and finding something that is greater than those two things. So my curiosity is more in how a survey of other aspects of music, not just pitch, can be put together in a contrapuntal way. And I don't know where that pursuit's going to take me. I don't know when I'm going to have time to do it, but like rhythmical counterpoint's something that gets discussed, or like what happens when you put two textures together? What happens when you put, what kind of dynamic counterpoint is there in composition? I'm curious if there are principles that can be found that way. I don't know the answer.
I see.
And I'm sure I'll just uncover more questions than anything else. But
Yeah, interesting. So, I think I have two more questions. Will be okay for you?
yeah, we're okay.
Okay, great. So, as you look ahead, what artistic territories do you still want to explore? What feels unfinished or unexplored in your work?
So that's another top question. I feel like I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So it's like I'm sure pathways that are going to open up that I'm not anticipating, like this blues band that I'm suddenly finding myself playing in. It's like another challenge to do something else. I'd love to spend more time conducting. I'd love to be able to spend more time writing. Sometimes I find that the playing takes over a little bit more. I've got album projects that I really want to do. I've got commissioning that I really want to do, but it's like I need to find the time to find the money to make the commissions
Right.
happen and that kind of thing. So there are all these like projects and ideas that I have for projects and albums and concerts and all of that sort of stuff. But it's just it's time. That's it's tough to find to dedicate towards everything. So I don't know that it's necessarily new artistic territories, but just like playing more music with more people that I love is what I want to do. And I want to keep doing that.
Amazing.
Which is exciting because I get to meet new students every year and I get to play with them.
Right.
And every time you approach a piece, it's different.
Right.
So
Right.
it gets more and more exciting every year.
Right. So once you plan the project, how do you get the funds?
I look around, start looking at grant possibilities, start talking to other people that might be interested in
As a sponsor,
say a prayer and
prayer.
and then look at my bank account and say, okay, how much can I float?
Maybe all the musicians is the same situation.
Yeah. We work so that we can do the projects, right? I mean, it's you have private teaching or you have other stuff, and it's like, okay, you can start to accumulate something and say,
Right.
I can fund an album at this point. Of course, if your HVAC system goes and you have to buy a new air conditioner, I had an air conditioner installed yesterday. That puts things on hold. So all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I was planning on recording an album, not planning on recording an album for a little bit longer. It's life. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe this will be the last questions for you today. What's the most important thing you wish someone had told you when you were starting your professional career?
Ooh.
It makes you think, right?
It makes me think because my initial reaction is that it would have been nice to have someone say, yeah, you can do everything. But part of me wonders if that I just was trying to prove people wrong at the time and just kept going. I think I had a lot of people that were very encouraging along the way. And I think that's the most important thing for anyone to hear at the beginning of their career is just that encouragement that it's going to be okay. And that there is a place for you in the music world. You might not know what that place is. It might be hard to find that place. It might take a long time, but there is a place, I think, for everyone that's really dedicated and really willing to put in the work. To make it. And I think that's the other aspect that people told me, and I was appreciative of it, that it's a lot of hard work. I think outside of music majors probably have the vision of it being easy or something like that. And I think you can probably float through and get a music degree without working hard. That's not the point. Right. The point is to improve yourself as much as possible. That's a constant battle. There's always someone else practicing. There's the I don't know that a teacher ever said that, but my friends said that to each other. And I had a friend group, especially at BU, that was very good about keeping ourselves in check about what we were doing and how dedicated we were being.
Right.
That dedication goes a long way. So
I mean, you mentioned
going
right.
would be the best thing.
Right. That's a very good point because sometimes just your friends or peers, gives more influence than your teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inspired.
Yeah. Because if you feel like you hit a wall, I mean, you hit a wall at mile 20 of a marathon too, and there's still 6 miles to go, and then you feel great. Yeah. Because it's over. But so every mile is not the same. It's the same in music. I think every year's not the same. This is going to sound cliche. A career is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's
right. That's so true. Now you
and we're still in the beginning of it.
Right. Yeah. So are you happy and satisfied in this days?
I am. I'm so thankful for how everything is, how everything's turned out. I'm happy. I love my students. I love my colleagues. Every day's a little bit different. So
nice.
It keeps everything exciting.
Right. Yeah. That's so true. Do you have any certain tips who wants to go to Pianist, BU or Curtis? How they prepare? Yeah. Like in composition major or piano major?
Get a teacher that you trust. That's the most important thing. Like have a teacher that you really trust because it's hard. And if you have someone that you can rely on to teach you the ropes of how everything's going to go down, it's great. I don't think there's a shortcut. So It's having that constant feedback and having that background is good. I mean, and now so many places are looking for like, I don't know how I got into school. When I was a high schooler applying to school, like it's so much harder now. And like, I don't know, I'm 16 years out of high school. I think I saw on Facebook like yesterday. And in that short period of time, it's like now all of a sudden you need multiple performances of your pieces. You need like a high quality recording of your pieces. You need your score, and the music that people are writing is like really,
Wow.
really fantastic music. I have a student of mine, Serrano Rosentrader. He was a high school student. He just got into Juilliard with the Kovner. The music he's writing is extraordinary. I'm like, and he's in high school, and he's got performances. He's got a whole portfolio, and I'm like, that's becoming the standard, I think, which is tough. But if you have a teacher you trust, it's all doable. That knows how to hit those things.
Sure.
I don't know. It makes it harder for a naive person that hasn't like myself that didn't know the music world. I am thankful that BU gave me a chance.
Nice, nice. How did you get a composition or piano private teachers when you were high school? I'm just curious.
Asked around people that knew people. So that's how it was.
Right. I mean, in United States, mostly like that. How it works?
Yeah, word of mouth. But like, if there's a teacher at a school that you're interested in, shoot them an email.
Right. Yeah.
Worst thing that happens is they don't have time, and they reply and they say that they don't have time. Next worst thing that happens is they don't reply at all.
Okay.
And then you're like, did I really want to study with the person? That's not going to reply to that email. So it's like, send that email. That's the advice that I wish someone had said. The worst thing anyone can say is no, and you might as well ask.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Very nice.
And usually they'll say yes. I think I found that people say.
I think so.
People want to be supportive.
Right. Yeah. Except grants and call for scores, mostly.
Except grants and calls for scores. Yeah, they always say no. That's because they're saying yes to their friends too. So everybody's saying yes to their friends. So
All right. Thank you so much for your time and being with me today. It was so much fun, and I'm so glad to reconnect with you.
yeah, it's so nice to see you. And we're going to have to see each other at some point.
Yeah, sure, for sure, right?
You're in Jersey when you're in New York, right? Or
Yes. New Jersey. Yeah.
you're the other side. Yeah, North Jersey.
Very nice.
Life. Yeah. I live like near farms and pine trees. It's very, very different.
Well, nice air.
Yes, nice air.
So, yeah, please keep me updated in any, excited new projects in the future. And
Yeah, absolutely.
we should plan something, exciting project together.
We should, or at least like a Manus reunion. Like if there are people around, we should get people to get together. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I know like Rona's still in New York. James Lindsay's still in New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Should we like create a like a reunion chat group or something like that?
That'd be fun. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should make something then.
Maybe after the summer, but
Yeah, sure.
we can do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you so much for today, Tom.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. I hope you get, invite you back, another episode, maybe next season.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have more fun talk and, share more things about it.
That means I'm going to have to do more stuff before next season. So that's good.
No pressure at all. Okay. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. It must be night there, so have a good night. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you later.